Hi, my name is Rachel Tucker, and I've been dancing with this company for 4 years now. Anxiety has always been a challenge for me. I think I noticed it more going into high school. I had this transition from being homeschooled and going into public school, and I had never really experienced a big change like that. I knew that I didn't know anybody. That kind of scared me a lot. I knew I was gonna practically have to start over. While it was a huge challenge, it definitely taught me how to make better relationships and how to be comfortable meeting new people. The busier my life became, the more my anxiety grew. It just sort of amplified. The thing is, I love to be busy, and I love to constantly have things to do. I've never really liked to sit still, which is really ironic, considering the title of the show is called Still. There was a point in high school that I felt extremely numb to everything. My mom had just been diagnosed with breast cancer, and I didn't really understand it. I felt nothing for a while, and it was really hard to communicate that with her. I felt bad even speaking on it. I knew she was going through so much, and I didn't want to burden her with my anxieties. So I was left to my thoughts, and I suppressed my anxiety a lot. But I also wasn't sure what it was at the time. And over time, it built up to a point where I couldn't handle it any longer. I think that point was in my freshman year of college. I was going through another big transition. I was trying to figure out my life and get used to another new place. But this time I knew I was really on my own. I wanted to meet new people again. I was trying to be comfortable with that and trying to find a new path, basically. I had a really bad habit of drinking too much coffee to the point that I literally couldn't feel my body anymore. I was completely numb. I was stuck in that numbness once again. One day my body literally couldn't handle it anymore, and it broke down. I had just gotten into class, it had just started. I was taking my typical notes. All of a sudden I noticed my hand wasn't writing real words anymore. It was shaking, and the room got really hot, and my eyes, I couldn't see anymore. Everything was going black. I had my first full-blown anxiety attack. I don't really remember what happened during the class after that. All I know is the girl that was sitting next to me just stared. Nobody ever said or did anything about it. But class finally ended, and I ran to the bathroom, and I sat there for who knows how long, just trying to calm myself down. I was calling my friends. Nobody was available. Nobody really wanted to come. But eventually a friend did show up for me. And they sat with me until I felt like I was ready to even walk again. In the end, I know God sent the right person at that right moment. They needed to be there with me, and they understood what I was going through when everybody else seemed to think I was overreacting. I may not have realized it at the time, But I think that was the point where I fully allowed my body to feel, and to feel the stress and the anxiety and the pain that was going on in my life. I was trying to figure out relationships. I was trying to figure out where I was at spiritually. I was dealing with expectations for my future and how I was going to get there. Anxiety feels different for everybody. I personally feel extremely sharp pains, or my upper body will tense up in my shoulders. I become overly aware of my own heartbeat, and it kind of scares me sometimes. But I feel myself trying to push that anxiety away. Sometimes my entire body trembles, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I find myself unable to move, and sometimes I am. I think I'm currently in a state of learning to become aware of what my body is trying to tell me and how I can better handle releasing my anxiety and letting it go. I'm learning how to be better at speaking about it as well, instead of feeling like I'm bothering people with my pain. As much as I want to control my anxiety, I know that I can't. I know I'm not in control. It's more so about having the ability to trust God with it and trust Him in letting go. And sometimes it's easier to have that trust, and sometimes it's really hard. But there's definitely grace throughout this process, because it isn't easy, and God doesn't expect us to have all of the answers. God has provided me with a huge support system, so many friends that are there for me and encourage me in everything I do. They notice when I start to act different, and they call me out on it, and they sit with me in that moment, just to be with me, and I appreciate that. You know, He always sends the right people at the right time, and He definitely speaks through them in order to reach to me. I think it's crazy thinking back on all of the people that I don't really talk to anymore, but seeing how significant of a role they've played in my life and in leading me to where I am today. I just know God is continually working in me. He's continually teaching me how to feel, because the worst feeling for me is numbness. There's always moments that I find myself needing to stop and to breathe and just sit still. And God actually helps me in that breath. This is that stillness that I'm still learning to work on, to do. I'm learning to just sit still in His presence and listen. I'm learning to listen to His words, and right now He's telling me that you are not alone. You are strong and you are capable, and I haven't given up on you, and I won't give up on you. I'm definitely still struggling with this process. It's an ongoing battle. But know that if you are experiencing this and you feel stuck, know that I see you. Know that you're not alone. God always has people that will surround you and champion you as you go through this process, as you're going through this learning. He is providing that breath in your lungs right at this moment, and He will continue to do so in the moments where you feel like you can't breathe any longer. Know that He will continually speak to you in the ways that you need it most. And I may not be the best at listening to Him and what He has to say to me, but I know that He's always there, and God always hears me. Know that we are in this battle together. We just need to be still and listen. We need to be still and know.